Hi, welcome to Spotlight with Titilope. My name is Funke Adetunberu, and I am the host of this show. On Spotlight with Titilope, we talk about issues as it relates to our society, politics, trending topics, anything and everything that relates and affects us as human beings. Today, I have with me a powerhouse, a woman who is known for mending lives, for speaking life into marriages and empowering women in the society. Stay with me as I bring her on board. Thank you for coming, Rev Dr. Funke Adetunberu.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful. Thanks for the privilege. I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure too. Thank you.
You are known as a woman champion, a female champion, and I say that without reservations.
Thank you.
I have known you since I was a child, and I still enjoy everything you do. Can you tell us how you started this journey? How did you find purpose in empowering women in society?
Sometimes your mess becomes your message, your mess becomes your mandate. I came from a very dysfunctional background. My mother divorced when I was 6 months. I didn't know my dad. I was abused, molested. I aborted. The doctor said I can never be pregnant. I have a medical report that she cannot be anything in life. My mother would say, I wish I had washed away your menstrual period. Wow. My mother would say, I wish I wake up in the morning and I don't see you. Very bad, rough background. Now I would smoke, I would drink, I was everywhere, you know. If I'm 60 next year and I'm looking like this, even the mirror tells me I'm beautiful.
You are.
Thank you. So it was like, no other thing to sell, but what you want to flaunt it, and it was really, really bad. Until several years ago, almost 40 years now, I had an encounter. I actually tell people that he took cigarette from my hand and he gave me a microphone because I smoke, I drink. And before I knew it, I just knew I needed someone, I needed a change. I was tired actually. I was fed up of the life I was leading, and I felt if nothing happens, then that would be the end of this life. And you know, the devil does not fight what he does not fear. I have so much on the inside of me, and the devil just said, this girl, she has to be stopped. So when I found life, I made up my mind, I'm going to kill the devil instead and yours. And that's what you're saying today. Thank you.
So you saw potential in the life you lived. The life you lived emanating from the kind of background that you have. Absolutely. And now you took that background and then turned that mess into a message. I like that phrase, mess to message. Yeah. We can't deny or pretend that you have cleaned up a lot of mess in marriages. And that's what you are known for.
Yes.
Now we have a major mess. On the internet, in the media, in our lives, every day it's staring us in the face, and that is the issue of domestic violence in marriages. Is it up to a week? It's not up to a week. We had the issue of Osinachi Nwachukwu, who was allegedly beaten to death by her husband. Although the case is in court, we don't have liberty to speak about it. Yeah. But then it's her case, the Ekweme Krona. Her case sort of dug up the consciousness of domestic violence in every woman, every girl, every lady, and we began to talk about it. And so we have it at the rate of the moment now. What can you say is the cause of domestic violence in marriage? I know there are many causes, of course, but then we keep talking about these issues, but it looks like we have never really truly picked the root cause. What can you say is the root cause of domestic violence?
Foundation. You know, every child comes to this world blank. It is what to play to their mind, they play back to life. And moreover, when you have, you've been raised, or you were raised from a home that, you know, parents are fighting, there's so much conflict at home. It could be verbal, it could be emotional, it could be sexual, it could be psychological, it could be physical. But the moment there's a violent, subtle violence, background at the beginning of a child's life, that child is prone to be attracted to someone that is also abusive. hurting people hurt people. It's a law of attraction, actually. The moment a child's, background is questionable, I say that 14 invisible people go into marriage relationship. 14 people you don't see. Everything you saw your mom did to your dad is going into that marriage unconsciously. So one lady had an issue with her husband. She couldn't be pregnant. She couldn't allow her husband to sleep with her. And they were married and she was 36. There was nothing I did not do. Took her to the hospital, did everything. The doctor checked, there was hope, but she just couldn't. The man could not just go in. I'm being honest with you. True story. Now, the next thing is therapy. I'm a psychologist, I'm a therapist. And I had to pull out. I said, tell me about your growing up. And she said, what did you just say? I said, they've been everywhere, prayers, Sometimes we pray or some things that are
not just prayers.
No. God gave us grace so that I can rest, actually. That's why we have doctors, lawyers, and all of them. They are professionals. There's wisdom that has been disseminated to them to bring people out of whatever mess they found themselves. So at the end of the day, she just told me, I said, tell me about your growing up. And she became tearful, not up to 3 minutes. She was just tearful. And she said, Ma, that when she was 3, she saw her dad beat her mom. And the beating was so bad that all of them came out from school. Everybody knew in the neighborhood the dad is a soldier man. And they were, it was like shame. And they just crawled into their various nook and crannies and just said, okay, fine. So about 2 or 3 hours later, she wanted to meet her mom and just check on her. She's the most intelligent, she's the most beautiful, she's so smart. Others, we react to pain differently. We are wired differently. Yes. So if some people, if the car hits them, they run. Some would watch, some would scream, some would just be numb, So I think
that's take it in.
And exactly. So she went to check her mom and she saw her mom and dad cuddling. And she just said, no, that was it. She couldn't
understand.
She could not comprehend
that you're
beating a woman, bleeding point everywhere was.
And now you're cuddling her.
And they were actually having sex, not cuddling. I don't know some men. I don't want to say that so I won't feel I'm just being emotional. But you don't slap a woman and come back to hug that woman, because the Bible even says that no man hates himself, but love and cherish yourself. So slapping a woman and think the next thing is, and she consented, that's where we're going today. Consent. And the girl said no. That was the end.
She couldn't take it in and it lived with her up to the point of marriage.
She told me, she said, I brought her on my TV show. She said, I did not know that my past traveled with me to my future. The man has to be married. The man is married now with kids. She's not married. She can't. Because she didn't, it was now that, she was apprehended, she was able to, trace it, but the wound is deep.
Let me take you on depth of wound.
Yeah.
When we have men who look at their wives and see nothing other than a woman that they can beat, a woman that they can do sex with, a sex object or whatever. This particular woman that you spoke about had a past that traveled with her to the future. Could it also be that the men who beat their women, the men who beat their wives, are products of marriages like that?
That's why I tell people, I say, when you talk about gender violence or abusive relationship, it's not gender based actually. Abusive violence, whatever, it's not gender based. I had a guy that the wife would beat. I'm not joking. Because I deal with issues, I hear things that are alarming at times. Beating all the time, and one day he just chose to beat his wife back, and he said he did that because of his son, because his son would say, "Mom beats daddy." Men, a woman can beat a man. So he wanted to debunk that from the son. That was why, and the moment the woman now know that the husband is stronger, everybody, So it's not just a man that abused women, vice versa. So we don't base it on the fact, but it's just that the ratio is not as higher than that of the men.
Violence in marriage is not gender specific. A man can beat the woman, a woman also can be violent. Thank you for that, Ma. We know that half the time when you find stories about, a man has, beat his wife to stupor. You hear the man say, she provoked me. She said things that she shouldn't have said. What is the place of provocation?
Actually, somebody sent me a mail like that on my, after my program, that actually women, they provoke men. Men have
that a lot.
Men have their muscle, a woman has her mouth. But marriage is for matured men and women, not for boys and girls. It takes matured men and women to keep a relationship for a very long time, actually. Now, there are things you could do to a woman without beating her when she provokes you. If you can just walk out and you stop eating, the woman will break. Women are easy to handle. It's just that a man that actually beats his wife has problem. It's a foundational problem. It's beyond the beating. It's one anger sitting somewhere because of dysfunctionality or where the guy is coming from. And when things happen, especially when you are from a very dysfunctional home, the first thing you notice about such a child is don't talk. So it was when I started traveling out of the country that you hear a child say, "Dad, you are hurting my feelings." They did not born any African child tell his or her dad that you are hurting my feelings. They don't expect us to have feelings. So
or else you will collect.
Exactly, you will get, So you just bottle up, you suck it in. And of course it exits itself with anger, with alcohol, with drugs, with marijuana, with all sorts. So when you see somebody that is into drugs or into aggression, whatever form of addiction, I'm a sexual addiction therapist, it could be letting out the pain through sex, it could be through drugs, it could be through anything, but it has to be let out. So some guys that you see beat their wives, they are men that have subdued the anger that is on the inside of them. And when some don't even know they have anger issue until they have somebody very close to them that can press their button, then they just erupt like volcano.
Men who beat their wives have anger issues that have been pent up.
Yes.
And then they find a weaker vessel or someone who they can unleash all of those pent up years on. And that is it. Yeah. Thank you very much. We're back after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to Cruiser Lounge, a place of premium entertainment where we cruise you down your day and night activities. A unique multi-level venue that offers a perfect combination of elegance, fun, beauty, sophistication, and contemporary lifestyle. Our services include a spanning club, a premium lounge, a cozy swimming pool, a rooftop bar, a gym, and a snooker arena where you can calm your nerves down after a really stressful day. Check me out, guys. Welcome to our Manhattan Hall, a glamorous, versatile space just ideal for your dream wedding, special occasion and celebration, or even corporate events. Light, check. Beauty, check. Elegance, check.
Welcome back. Female empowerment is one of the major solutions that people have brought forward, saying, oh, empower a woman. If you empower her, she can leave an abusive marriage. But empowering a woman, is that truly the solution? Or is it a major solution?
No, information is the solution. Now, where to elephant
information.
grass suffers. Now you are empowered, you have kids in that home. Osinachi could not leave that marriage, not because she wasn't empowered.
She was empowered.
She comes in with millions actually, and if she decides, okay, don't worry, I'm my own manager now, I don't need any man, blah blah blah, she will still be comfortable financially.
She will.
But what about her children? Where two elephants fight is the grass that suffers. It depends on the size of the elephant. Some grass will not grow again, some will die for life. So we're looking at, why is it, okay, get money, have your money, be comfortable? That's superficial as far as I'm concerned. Because you know, when you're emotionally sick, X-ray does not see it. This is death. That's why some people say physical abuse. Emotional abuse is even worse than if you cut my body with knife or whatever, I can suture it. But if I'm emotionally dying, it's mental home. Most women, they check themselves into a mental hospital just to be safe. They are not mentally ill, but they say this is the only place where this man will not come and look for me. Okay, that's another topic. Now, what I'm saying is the solution to all of this is getting people to be comfortable to speak out. You are as sick as your secrets. I don't have problem. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't cry before someone that will not say sorry to you, because a lot of people have spoken to wrong people and the next thing you meet your case on the media. That's not what I'm saying. These people that are shouting on the media, screaming, yelling, I learned, all they need is a professional, a counselor, a therapist, someone that I do premarital counseling, and I make sure the first thing I do is to dig it. I call it trace it, face it, erase it and start replacing it. I go to your foundation. I will be sure you are not compatible. I'll be sure you are compatible. I want to be sure the guy is not a narcissist. He doesn't have mental illness. Now, the point is, you know, sometimes when we handle issues like this, I'm saying, well, be empowered, be empowered. I mean, it's sickening to me, honestly. You know why? If you're saying, okay, empower, go with your kids, the blood of that man still flows in your husband, in your kids.
Children.
Exactly. So we're still repeating the cycle of this thing. So the best thing is seek help. It's only marriage certificate you are giving without going to school. Go to school. Some of us are doctors, lawyers, bankers, professionals. You go there, you are educated, you are informed. The marriage that you are going to live the rest of your life in bliss or in pieces of peace. You are not getting certificate, you are dancing without knowing what to do. Sorry to say this, it's scary, man.
One of the major issues that Sister Osinachi's death unveiled was the church. What is the interface between domestic violence, staying in marriage, staying married, having the respect of a married woman and the church? It looked to a lot of people, you know, it was obvious that, oh, she was a minister in church, she didn't want to be a divorcee, or probably she was being told in church, you can't leave your husband, God has ordained it, there's no divorce in marriage. What's your stand on that?
I said it, you are sick as your secrets. Out of marriage is not out of life. It's so simple. If God is my father, God doesn't slap me and I still love him. He loves me so much that I don't want to hurt him. I don't lie, I don't steal, I don't commit adultery. Not because I'm ugly, not because I can't do it, but you want to reciprocate love to the one that loves you. And it's so simple. The Bible says, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself. Christ actually died for the church. So if a man, if not for the baggages, you know, like I said, 14 invincible people are going into marriage. The baggages, what we are all bringing from...
Who are the 14 invincible people?
Number one, everything you saw your dad did to your mom,
okay, is
going into your marriage. Your love language goes into your marriage.
Okay.
Your personality goes into your marriage. We speak different love languages. Some it's just touch. Some is act of service. Some is, you know, giving of gifts. Some is physical touch. Some is just quality time. Some is word of affirmation. Now, if your husband, you know, this issue of abuse is deep. It's very, very deep. Let me give you an example. If your love language is words of affirmation, and you marry a man that tongue lashes you, that cuts you with words, you are good for nothing, you are ugly, you are not nice, you are a dummy, you are not. You will rather not marry a man or a woman that does that to you. You will not, because you know. Now, if your love language is giving of gift, if he's abusing you, are comfortable with it. But if your love language is words of affirmation, if you are in a relationship that is verbally abusive, you are going to walk out of that marriage.
No matter what comes with it.
No, you don't care, because it's killing me with words. I've seen women that are out of their marriages because they felt that this man is killing me
You talk
with
to the
words.
man anyhow.
Because the love language is words of affirmation. What gets to her? She cries because we said she's stupid. She would have preferred being slapped
over being called stupid.
Now, imagine, I've not even answered the question of
you have
church. Now, when it comes to church, every man on the pulpit wants to be the counselor. Can they stop it? And just, that's why a lot of people want to start church. Now, I don't have a church because I'm not called to have a church. I'm a counselor, I'm a therapist. To help the body of Christ. Look at the way even the owner of the church, fivefold ministry, we have the pastor, we have the teacher, we have the evangelist, we have the apostle, we have the teacher, pastor, lord, teacher, evangelist, all of them, fivefold ministry. Now, in that body, they still have administrative offices. Sure. Meaning that health ministry, administrator. Now, how would you say you are a pastor? The problem I'm having in this generation are the leaders. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't want to call it an agricultural shovel. It is the leadership. You don't have to be master of all. When it comes to yes, on dealing with life. This is life. Where I use glasses, I have an optician. I had to fill my teeth. I had to see a dentist. I had to, when I turned 50, I started having knee issue. I had to see a physio. So
a pastor shouldn't be a counselor.
You can't be. You have to depart.
Except that is your field.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you want to not be a counselor, then go for training. Do you know how many people are in confusion because one prophet said it's the wife or the husband,
and then you die there?
Oh my! Dying there is another topic on its own. Can we just respect professionals, please? Let's just honor people that are good in this thing and let them handle it. Now, the challenge I have is a lot of leaders are not secure. They felt by the time I'm comfortable with this, I'm counseling this person, I'm going to lose my sheep. You can't lose your sheep. We're to complement each other. It's for complementation, not for competition. That is important. Then finally, please, all leaders, if you're a pastor, you're a whatever, please respect your office and be comfortable in your office. Don't delve into that area of I want to be a counselor and telling people to die there. Some, they have grace to die there, to stay there. Some are just being spoiled. It's when you're a professional, you know that this attitude, you need to change. You work for yourself. Not just that your husband is abusive. You are too nasty. Deal with it. It's not, the man, he did not slap you because he has anger issue. When you bring the things to the table, you know that no.
You also have
exactly. So if I can say stay there, let's work it out. I can stay out of that relationship as a professional. Thank you.
One of the issues that this particular case of domestic violence showed us was that it looked to a lot of people that she didn't speak out. She didn't talk to people. She kept it to herself, and then she was dying in silence. When is the right time to speak out in a marriage that has violence?
Basically,
or relationship?
For her, honestly, it's so lonely at the top and it's very windy. And when you are there, a lot of people are looking up to you. So you need a strong support system to make such decisions.
An anchor.
Yes. People that will say, get out. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Could these people be parents?
No, there could be anybody, but basically it's better for that person to be a counselor. A voice in that area is better. Because you don't know what to do. Okay, I have a case of infidelity now. This man, they're not living in Nigeria as it were. The man can sleep with anything. Started sleeping with her sister, her sibling, her friend. So she told me she needed to leave. I said, leave. I said, don't leave. Tell the man to leave. You live in UK. Now, that's a different one. And I've told some people to stay. So professionally speaking, it's like you go to the hospital, the doctor knows the kind of antibiotics that is good for this and the one that is not good for that. So I told her, let him leave for now. The lady will cry, Mommy, I'm feeling. I said, you are not feeling anything. Let him leave for now. Oh, my children, I said, those children are messed up already. Calm down. Now I'm talking about solid support system that will know. Now when you are like Osinachi, she's also an enabler. There's so many reasons why she wanted to die there. Number one, what will people say? Number two, my career. They won't invite me again. I won't have platform again. There's so many things that will be going on in the mind of someone that, okay, it will change. You heard the pastor said when she was apprehended and people were noticing, people that were there when she was slapped at the studio, and she said the man wanted to maybe react and give him his own shot, and she knelt and said, please, sorry, please, he will change.
The family issue.
That's the point. So a professional help is very important. If you are out there, you are, you have your status, you are a celebrity, people are looking up to you, please don't die.
Regardless of what you are, who you are in society, get help. When
yes, there's another thing I needed to say before we move on. Your health is your marriage. Your wealth is your marriage. Your happiness is your marriage. The happiness of your children when you are old is your marriage. You may not be bothered about your health. You may not be bothered about your wealth. You may not be bothered about your happiness. What about old age? So whatever it is now, no matter your level of success and achievement, if you are going through stuff in your relationship, think of your old age. If you cannot answer some questions, telling yourself, I'll be fine when I'm old, I'll have my kids besides me, they'll be happy in their marriage. If you can't, please quickly do something. Take it or leave it. Or synergist children need serious therapy, or else they cannot be good husband and wife.
They do. Thank you so much for this session. It's mind-blowing. Maybe because I'm also a woman, but there is so much fact that you have given us today, and there is so much reality in what you have said. We have learned so much. I'm sure that you have also enjoyed listening to Rev Dr. Funke Adetunberu, and you have not just enjoyed listening, you have also learned one or two things about staying in a marriage that is violent, or staying in a relationship that is violent. For many of us, it's not even the marriage, it's the relationship that you begin to get kicks and slaps from. Why continue? Why go to the altar? Why proceed to court when you can get out of it now? Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed listening to us. Don't forget, on Spotlight with Titilope, where we talk about trending issues as it concerns us in the society, we speak to eminent personalities, we dissect issues, and we seek to bring to fore issues around us and trending topics. Stay with us.